Students, today we have to study the concept of viscosity. Before explaining that point, I want to clear the idea regarding to viscous force. What do you mean by viscous liquid? Suppose if we have taken such type of beaker in which liquid like glycerin or honey, such viscous liquid if we have taken, then there are such layers of that viscous liquid. So internal friction between these layers, suppose these two layers which I have considered, the internal friction between the layers of liquid motion that tries to stop the motion of liquid is called viscosity. Here in this diagram, see, this is the layer 1, this one is the layer 1 and this is the layer 2, two layers which I have considered. And the force exists between these two layers that oppose the motion, that is called as what? Viscous force. So the viscosity we can explain the property of liquid by the virtue of which internal friction between the layers of liquid in motion that tries to stop the motion of liquid is called viscosity. The force exists between the two layers is called as viscous force. This viscous force F, according to Newton, is directly proportional to area of viscosity A. This viscous force F directly proportional to velocity gradient. Velocity gradient means velocity upon displacement, distance between the two layers. Therefore, that is proportional to dV by dx. After combining these two in common, we can write F is proportional to A dV by dx. Remove this proportionality constant, then there is a constant eta at here. This constant eta is called as coefficient of viscosity. So eta we can calculate by bringing that A and dV by dx on that side. Therefore, eta equal to F upon A into dV by dx. So this is the formula. That is the formula for coefficient of viscosity. If value of A is 1, dV by dx is 1, then coefficient of viscosity is equal to force. So coefficient of viscosity of liquid is defined as the viscous force per unit area per unit velocity gradient. We can calculate the unit of this coefficient of viscosity also here. So how can we calculate the unit of coefficient of viscosity from this formula? You know, if you use this formula, that is eta equals to F upon A into dV by dx, you know, unit of force is Newton, unit of area is meter square, velocity having a unit meter per second and displacement having the unit watt meter. So this meter get cancelled, second you can take at the numerator and then Newton second per meter square, that is also unit for SI unit for what? Viscosity. You can also write the same one in terms of kilogram per second per meter, that is called decapoise, and therefore this is also the unit of viscosity. In CGS system, unit of viscosity is dyne second per centimeter square, or it is also specially labeled as poise. Poise is the unit of coefficient of viscosity in CGS system. So this is the concept of what? That is coefficient of viscosity. Here are some examples. If we pour water and honey in separate funnel, suppose there are the two funnels at here, this is the funnel number 1 and funnel number 2. In funnel number 1, you have taken water. And in funnel number 2, if you have taken honey, then what happens? Water come out easily from the hole in the funnel while honey takes a time to do so. If you make the hole, then water come out easily, but for the honey, it will become slowly. It means that honey is thicker than that of water. The viscosity of honey is more as compared to that of water. This is one example for explaining the concept of viscosity. We can walk in fast in air rather than in water because viscosity of water is larger as compared to that of air. There are a number of examples for explaining the concept of what? Viscosity. So in this way, this is about the coefficient of viscosity, its unit, definition of viscosity, and we have seen here the Newton's law for what? Viscosity. So according to Newton, the Newton force, that is viscous force between the two layers, is proportional to area and velocity gradient, that is dV by dx. After the concept of viscosity, we have to see about the two types of flow. One is streamline flow and second one is turbulent flow. What do you mean by streamline flow? When liquid flows such that each particle certain point follows the same path as preceding particle which pass the same point. It means this is the first particle and this is preceding particle. That will be follow the same path, means moving in a particular direction. That flow is called streamline flow. There are some important properties of this streamline flow. The first property of the streamline flow is that the streamline flow may be straight or curved. It may be such type curve or straight. The tangent drawn to that streamline flow at any point gives the direction of velocity of liquid. This gives the direction of velocity of liquid. Streamline cannot intersect, two streamline flow cannot be intersect. The velocity of liquid can be different from the points of streamline, but particular point the velocity remains the constant. In short, the velocity remains the constant. Maximum velocity of liquid up to which flow of liquid is streamline is called critical velocity. Critical velocity is the velocity at which the flow is streamline. Means, suppose if we have taken a water, that is water in a pipe, then that water can move in a particular direction. So that such a flow is called as what? Streamline flow. Its velocity remains the what? Constant. So this is nothing but the streamline flow. The second flow that we have to study here is the turbulent flow. In streamline, I already explained, the velocity remains constant and it is in a straight line or in a curve path. No two streamline flow can be intersect. And now here in the turbulent flow, it is the maximum velocity of liquid up to which the flow of liquid is streamline, that is called critical. Beyond the critical velocity, the flow of liquid becomes unsteady. In streamline it is steady, in turbulent it is unsteady, the flow is unsteady. This is before the critical velocity, streamline flow, it is beyond the critical velocity. In that case, the particles are moving in a straight line or same line and the flow is regular, but here the flow is irregular or zigzag. The best example of turbulent flow is water of flood. Whenever there is a flood, then what happens? The water is moving not in a particular direction. It will be moving here or there or like this in all directions, no particular way. So such a flow is called turbulent flows. There are some properties of turbulent flow like that of what? Streamline flow. Turbulent flow have not a constant velocity. Its velocity is irregular or it will be changing from point to point continuously. But in streamline flow, it will become constant. Okay. So this is about the turbulent and streamline flow. Now next point that we are going to study here is the Reynolds number. What is Reynolds number? Reynolds number is nothing but the ratio of inertial force to viscous force. It is the ratio of Reynolds number R is equal to ratio of inertial force to the viscous force. The ratio of these two is called as Reynolds number. And depends upon the value of Reynolds number, we can say the flow is which type, that is streamline or what? Turbulent. The formula for critical velocity is Vc equal to R into eta upon rho d, where eta is what? It is coefficient of viscosity, rho is density of the liquid, d is the diameter. From that we can calculate this R. Keep R on one side, rho d on this side. So V rho d upon eta, that is the formula for what? Reynolds number R. The streamline flow occurs at low Reynolds numbers where viscous force are dominant and characterized by smooth constant fluid motion. Streamline flow having the low value of Reynolds number, but turbulent flow having the value greater than 2000, that is turbulent flow. So we can determine if the flow is streamline or turbulent by using the value of what? Reynolds number. So this is the concept of what? Reynolds number. So till now we have seen the different values of Reynolds number, streamline flow, turbulent flow. In exam, the difference between streamline and turbulent flow may be asked. Okay. Now, in the next part, we have to study about the Bernoulli's theorem. If you have visited to our science center, then there is one of the experiment of Bernoulli's principle or Bernoulli's theorem. What is the statement of this theorem? When an incompressible and non-viscous liquid flows in a streamlined motion from one place to another, at every point of the path, total energy means sum of pressure energy, potential energy and kinetic energy per unit volume is constant. In short, I can write here pressure energy, potential energy and kinetic energy, sum of this per unit volume, and this is constant for the flow, then that is called as Bernoulli's principle. Okay. So statement of Bernoulli's principle, it may be asked for the 3 marks in the exam. You have to write, that is when the incompressible and non-viscous liquid flows in a streamlined motion, means velocity constant, moving in one direction, then the total energy, that is pressure, kinetic, potential, sum of all these per unit volume is constant, then it is called as what? That is nothing but, the principle is called as Bernoulli's principle. So this principle having number of applications and you can prove it in this way. The application of Bernoulli's principle is in venturimeter. In venturimeter it can be used similarly. We can use this Bernoulli's principle